Good afternoon, good evening, everyone, and welcome to this live stream. Today we are lucky because we will not be talking about me, but we are going to talk about Paupergeddon champion. Not a random top 8er, but Paupergeddon champion. Today we talk about a Junder, like a Jund Plachý, how I like to call him. And he's a good player, good mid-range player, a friend. Let's welcome him to the channel.
Hello, everyone.
Okay, so this interview will be quite chill since we know each other. We knew each other before. We were actually playtesting together before the big event. And I can say that I knew this guy before he won the Paupergeddon. And it was actually like a coincidence that we live in the same city. We are here streaming from Prague, Czech Republic. And we will go through some questions, but the mood of the interview will be quite like chill, friendly, talking about Magic, life. And I thought it was a good idea to bring him on the channel as well. The content of this is a stream, but it will be repurposed as a video later. And we will have the chat open. I will be monitoring the chat, so if any questions, except for those that I prepared, are coming from the chat, we will like happily interrupt and answer those as well. So the stage is yours. I will like monitor everything, and we can start. So we begin with something simple. Let's introduce yourself as a person, as a Magic player, and as a Pauper player. You have roughly 1 minute.
Okay. So, hi there. My name's Jan. Friends from Magic community like to call me Jant or Jant because I play it a lot. I'm 34 years old, Czech guy living in Prague, which is the capital of Czech Republic. But originally I'm from the east of the country. I was born and raised near Polish borders, so that's why the Polish people call me their champion as well, perhaps. In my normal life, I work in a Magic card store as a floor manager.
Which so it's basically, in the blood.
Yeah, I spend most of my time doing Magic stuff. Floor manager basically means I keep telling people what to do and what not to do. But I've tried the different jobs in my life. I've been a bartender for a long time. I've worked in films. I tried to work in a bank, but it was not a good fit. And I've done so much more. Like I was a keeper of a jumping castle once.
Keeper of a jumping castle. Yeah, I did not know about
kids.
this.
So it was full of kids jumping in the castle.
So is it better to be surrounded by kids or by Magic cards?
Yeah. Right now I'm surrounded by big kids. Playing with Magic cards.
Big responsible adult playing cards.
Yeah,
I see. Okay, that's him. That's him in a minute, maybe slightly more, but it's interesting to know his background a bit more. Moving on to like the approach towards the game. Let's describe about your personality a bit more. Let's dig through what can contribute to a win and what can like play against you.
Yeah, so what's one personality trait that helps you win? I guess you need to be smart, like, is that a trait or a quality but yeah, you won't get anywhere far if you're not smart, I think. But the good thing is you can be like Magic smart. You can learn that. You can learn a lot of stuff.
Yeah, like that's interesting and important. There are some Magic decks for which you don't need to be smart to play well. But I think you do need to be smart to play like Jund or to succeed, like to have like success, 100% success. And I think Jund is one of those decks that you have to like play optimally every single time if you want to take the victory. Because if you give Jund to a non-expert player, like they are gonna mess up immediately. And we know like examples of this, and we've seen examples of this, but you're definitely not the case.
Oh, thanks for your kind words. I was joking a little. The thing with Jund is, I think we will get to that a bit later today. I think it's a little bit different than what you said. It's like with Jund, you need the experience in your blood. sometimes you can afford to do mistakes or suboptimal plays, but you need to have a plan in your head, and you need to know how to get to that plan. So, okay, if I look at this question, like what's one personality trait? I think you need to be able to learn from, like, analyze the situation and find the plan towards the winning the game, right? So, for example, with Junt as a deck, like this is what you need to do. It's like, I think it's true for the whole Magic, a lot. So, like, probably that would be one personality trait, is like so you can read the board.
Right. So, like, similarly to chess, you need some sort of pattern recognition skill that allows you to say, okay, I've been in this situation in the past. It's similar. I have like these attackers, these blockers. I've seen this. I know that if I, let's say, attack here or block here, it looks like spicy now. It looks juicy now, but it's gonna like lead me to a situation where this is actually not the case. So, do you think that this is actually a skill that helps playing John?
Oh, definitely. Like, this could be taught. I think this could be taught about anything, like most of the archetypes of Magic. So I'm not sure if there's something really specific to me, for example.
Okay.
Right. But there's one thing I've learned from Magic a little bit better, which made me play better and win more games. It's actually making a decision and kind of stand behind the decision. And even if it's a bad decision, it's better than doing none.
Okay.
Right. So I'm a little bit transcending the question, like going in a little different direction. But Magic taught me this, or helped me to learn this. That like you need to come up with a plan. You need to do.
I see. Yeah.
A decision of any kind and stand by it, and just go along the way and see where it leads you. And maybe it's a bad decision. So just take the lesson and next time do it better. So.
And something that plays the other role. So some like personality trait that says, okay, no.
Yeah, sure. I'm impatient in times. And actually, if I'm on a losing streak, I keep getting salty, or depressed. And like people who know me from real life know this is true. But I'm so much trying to work on this, like stop taking it personally. Like Magic is a game of randomness, as my friends keep saying. And I'm trying to get this life lesson into me that like it's not my fault for losing very often. Well, very often it's not my fault. And sometimes it is my fault, obviously, right? But to learn, don't take the loss personally.
Not all of them.
Not all of them.
It's like the best Magic player doesn't win all the games. Right? Yeah. It's not like chess.
That's a lesson. It's a lesson to be learned.
It's something that needs to be metabolized with time, because it's non-trivial to have it in the skill set. That some games are losses, and I know people who like blame themselves for not mulliganing the hand. For instance, like the ultimate blame is, okay, I should have mulliganed that hand. Maybe I would have won the game. And that's typically a fallacy to my eyes. Because like you cannot always blame something. Like some games in Magic are unfortunately losses, and it doesn't mean that mulliganing that would like save you. And
breathe in, breathe out. You've lost. Well, that happens. It's normal. Like it's no reason to be ashamed.
Let's move on. Okay. We talked about you. We talked about the your approach to the game. Now we move towards the approach to the journey. So taking a step back, before Paupergeddon, when did you realize that Pauper is going to be like your format or your main format? I know you play more.
Yeah, I'll start from the beginning, right? Like I've been playing the Magic for more than 20 years. I pretty much started when I was 11, 12. And like a classmate brought it to school and he was like, yeah, look, this is Magic. And I was like, dude, like wow, that's the best thing ever. Really, like I stopped caring about Pokemon. I stopped caring about like other like computer games. Like Magic was like the best thing ever invented. I had no money, so we played some really funny, unplayable cards back then. We spoke really bad English, so we didn't understood the rules or the cards really.
Right, because in Czech Republic, in Czech language, like there is no Magic in Czech language.
Right. So we played this game in a way I don't think you could imagine. And by the way, this was the time I had the most fun with Magic. Like every single card looked playable, in a borderline case maybe. So that's how I started. But I dropped Magic later when I got like 15, and I got back to it when I was 20-ish, and I moved to Prague. As I was new to the city, I was looking for ways to spend time. There was once a month we had an all-common Pauper tournament on the weekend. I was quite poor as a student should be, right? So I picked on Pauper for the starts, and I slowly built myself for the standard. Like we had something like a standard for beginners, basically. So only when I was like 20, 21, I learned how stack works for the first time, actually, properly.
It was advertised in cards. I remember there were like cards in decks explaining how stack works, how first strike works. Yeah.
So we had this very simplified version of this. We called it the system of the action and reaction. It worked for the kids, but not in the tournaments anymore. Anyway, so that's how I started playing. Later I got into Modern, which I really liked, and I've been playing Modern for quite some time. And eventually, as I was doing night shifts, I stopped playing like any cards, really somewhere in the year 2016, I'd say. And I only got to it after COVID, actually, because I was missing it. I had a box of cards under my bed, and when I would get sad or like bored, I would go through the box, and I was like, "Yeah, I won that card," somewhere. Or,
like a trophy box.
I remember like I've bought this card, like this Noble Hierarch, 3 days before the Infect got banned, basically, right? So I spent like a lot of money for this card I've never played afterwards. And because I had some Pauper cards, actually, it was really simple to hop on. It was just after Kamigawa Neo came out. And I've started liking it, really. I started really liking it because I dislike the paywall as a concept in Magic the Gathering. And I mean, we could talk, like this is a topic for a video
for
on its
interview,
own, right?
Yeah.
And I just really dislike it. And like in Pauper, you basically don't collect cards, but you collect all the decks, right? So that's what you do. And I mean, I'm not a greedy bastard. I don't need all the decks, but I do. But I have most of them anyway. But yeah, so I started playing Pauper. I've bought in the cards. I had some staples. I've bought the rest. And there was a couple of good people. And I started like training with them, And so we got better and better. And slowly we built the community in Prague.
Right.
And as the community was growing in popularity and like more people came, like at the start it was like 8 people. And sometimes people from other formats had to like hop on the tournaments too, so we can even have this tournament, right? So they would register and drop, so we could play. And slowly, because we had this like approach of a friendly group, and we would spend time together, even outside of the tournaments, we built the community to something like 16 players. Okay, and at this point, when we had like 16 regulars, we went to the first Paupergeddon. The first guy from Prague was Lukáš Kessel, like one of my co-founders of the Pauper League Prague. And then, like in the next, like we went together for the next Paupergeddon, which was I think it was Rome 2023. right? We've met
I
there
think so.
before, actually.
Yeah.
And there we started to talk, actually.
We were playing. Yeah, we accidentally met there because we organized to go there like separately. And yeah.
So we went there and we started working on the league, and boom, like afterwards it just skyrocketed. Like we went from 16 people to 30 people, then like 40 people.
That's when the league
Actually,
started.
Yeah.
It was like your contribution and the one from the other guys.
Yeah.
Like creating the league, make the community explode, and now it's like very, very, very cool.
So this is pretty much like the whole journey in the past. Like what happened is we built the Pauper pretty much from the scratch. Like, I mean, there was a little community before, but the people changed. Now, I think it's fair to say that Prague has a really strong community in Dual Commander. This is the most played format. Like the most, apart from Pauper, like the two biggest formats here are Pauper and Dual Commander. And I mean, this is what happened. Yeah, we just took in all the people who were tired of spending like money, like too much money on it. We built a community, and as we accomplished that, I've realized that this is my format. Like
let's go. Yeah. Community average, like age average, is quite young because of the accessibility, because of the like not so much money required to start. So it's very easy to see new people, new faces around, like people introducing to the format each other, and it's growing. Like the format helps.
Yeah, I think the accessibility is a good thing, definitely. I think also we were like the strong qualities of the Pauper community is like we're friendly,
right?
While still being competitive, right?
A good balance,
like you want to play the tournaments, you can. We take you in. We will let you like train with us. We will help you like get to the top level. We will lend you cards. Like as long as you behave nicely, we will behave nicely to you as well. Right. So we are very open, very friendly. At the same time, I think quality-wise, we are strong players.
We have strong players. Yeah, like people are strong. I can name many strong players here from Prague. Okay, that's really very nice. Yeah. Before moving forward, actually, there is a question from chat, and I'd rather taking it now because it's not related, but not to forget.
Okay.
Out an official tournament like Geddon. Proxy yes or proxy no, and why?
Proxy yes and Paupergeddon.
No. Out of official tournaments like Geddon. So assuming you want to play, at least that's my interpretation of the question. So we play at LGS, like Friday Night Magic.
Okay.
Proxy yes or proxy no, according to you?
Well, honestly, with Pauper, where the price is already like toned down to the like minimum, I think you should probably play like the tournaments with real cards. But if you like really want to test something, you want to learn a new deck. I mean, we had a guy win a tournament in Prague like 6 months ago with a Proxy Sleep of the Dead just because he was not able to find that card in time. I don't mind that much, honestly.
But I think that episode was related to find the card in time. So not as a like, I don't have the money to get the card, but it's like time constraint that matter the most.
Yes. Yeah. Obviously, I want to learn something.
Yeah. So positive. Would this like answer change if you didn't work in a magic shop?
I'm sorry.
If this answer of yours would change if you didn't work in a Magic the Gathering shop?
No.
Is it the same? Yeah, probably. Yeah.
It's the same. Again. So the thing, the funny thing with Magic is like the less cards you have, the more open you are to the proxies, right? And the more cards you have, you're like, yeah, like everybody should buy these cards. Like if I could, like you should too.
Yeah, it's taken as a sort of a personal offense at some point, right? The answer might change like proportionally to the collection of the player. Yeah, that's a good point. I agree.
Like lately, I've been thinking about playing like Proxy Legacy in Prague. Or, I would really I would allow proxies for like a pre-modern format, which is not official, and some cards are absurdly expensive,
especially
right? Like the Cradles, the Moxes. And like it doesn't make any sense actually for the format to be this
Especially because
expanded.
it's capped, so cards are not gonna get reprinted there. Yeah.
Yep.
But let's stay on track. It's Paupergeddon winner. Are you planning to win some pre-modern tournament soon? Because you play pre-modern, right?
I do like to play it out of tournament though.
Yeah,
I don't like to play the tier 1. The burn and the mono blues are
makes sense.
sucking the fun of the game.
Moving on to the question road. Looking back, what was the turning point that made you a stronger player? So was there a turning point, a moment when you realized, hey, like this is life changing. This made me a best player, like a better player.
I didn't recall like one exact moment, but let's have a little look into the past. So this was my 7th Paupergeddon I've attended. And in the last 4 out of these geddons, I did day 2, right? And a year ago, it was my first day 2, and I ended up 25th. And before that, I've attended 3 times with not very good score, barely being positive, right? Something really changed in the last year and a half, and we can talk about what it was. I think a year ago, and that was a year and something ago, we went to Lecco.
Right.
It was the Milan Spring, right? And it was the first tournament when like the best of us would start training together. It's like me, and like you and other guys, namely like Adam Bazika, who finished in top 8 on that tournament, Benjamin Werner, who finished ninth in that tournament.
And he had a perfect day 1 run.
He was
undefeated.
He was like 7-0, right? And actually what was like super important for me was like seeing that these guys are playing kind of like fair games, like balanced games against. Like if they can do it, I could do it as well, probably, right? So it's changed the paradigm in my head.
And also the mental, yeah.
It was like, it's achievable. Like the people at the top tables, they are not like some superhumans, like super computers. They're like good guys, like good players, right? Like strong players, but I'm not as far from them as I might be thinking I am. So really, I got this confidence from my friends being placed high in the tournament. That got me, it was a huge boost for my performance, actually. So one is the training with really good people, realizing like I could be there as well, and just like focus enough. And at the same time, I picked on John deck, which I'm still strongly convinced has a really like strong power level, which might be carrying me a little bit too much sometimes.
It is true.
So I think there's a couple of these would work together. So we have a time frame, like a year and a half ago. I just starting to put results, like a real results, not just a random free ones in LGS.
I think you also started to be like consistent in winning. Meaning, I remember many times you're like going 4-0, like in a sequence at LGSs, and that's the point, right? A single win doesn't prove anything, but if you're like consistent in winning, something has changed, right? That's how you measure good players in general, or like you measure when your journey is like improving, when your approach to the game is improving. So I remember you going like 4-0, 4-0, 4-0 with different decks. So this means that you got better not only with one deck, but with the approach, the format, you improved your knowledge, and I remember that like very clearly. Yeah.
So another thing that changed back then was stopped playing Affinity for a while, and I love Affinity.
Yeah,
like, really, it is my deck, and at the same time, it's very inconsistent and just does very random it's a scale of things, a very random scale. Like some hands are just out like crazy good, and like you mulligan a lot of unworking hands. And it's a really bad deck for training then, because it's really hard to take the lesson out of the Affinity game. Like, is it you? Did you lost the game yourself, or was it really the mana base? Like, did you make a bad decision somewhere? Like, it's really hard to tell with Affinity. So if you want to like train and become better and do like smarter decisions, I think Affinity is not the deck to be doing so, because the data you get back is like incongruent.
And also, like, when you win, most of the time you super win. So like you slam 7 creatures by turn 3, turn 4, and you like kill your opponent no matter what he's playing. And when you lose, most of the time you don't even play the game of Magic. So I very much agree with what you said. That it's very hard to like connect the dots and understand if the wins are like your skill or the deck's raw power, and if the losses are like your negligence or your like I need to get better, rather than like mana base exploded, I got cast into the fire on one land and I couldn't even play the game. So yeah, definitely a deck change is what made you like win the tournament, because like there was no Affinity in the top 8 of this Paupergeddon.
Yeah, but I think an Affinity player was ranked 9th.
There was a
9th or 10th. I think there was someone just outside of the gates. So it's very interesting. By the way, I'm not sure if we're talking about it later, but like we had 10% of Red Madness, like none doing the top 8, and we had 10% of Affinity in the meta share.
Right.
None doing the top 8 neither. I think actually people were really prepared for that. And there's like talking about by Affinity, like 2 new Predator decks have shown up since the last Geddon, being like the Monstertron and Deny Gates. Actually, they eat Affinity for breakfast.
Definitely, like yeah. That's definitely another factor. No, we will not dig through, like we will not dive into numbers here. There are so many sources already where numbers about Paupergeddon are done. So like feel free to bring up whatever ideas about number you have. There will be no space for that specifically. So that's the turning point. So testing with good people, looking back at yourself, changing decks. So it's an all evolution of factors.
Yeah.
And if you had to give your Pauper journey a title, what would it be? Like you can interpret this question as you like. So it's going to be like either a title of a movie or a word or a sentence or like whatever you feel like.
Yeah, just give me a second, because this, I believe there's a great joke or great line going along somewhere. So we call the tournaments like rags to riches, right? The road to mythic player, from a commoner to a mythic player.
That's what they told you. Yeah.
It's the line from Paupergeddon, right? Like common cards, mythic players.
Yeah.
Yep. This is where what my mind's saying right now.
Very simple, but impactful.
I'll keep thinking about this one.
You can come up with anytime.
Maybe it will come to me.
Yeah, just to prove that this is not staged. So our friend here is not like aware of the next questions. Like we got like a bit of guidelines, but it's like gonna be a chill chat between friends and going through. You got an idea.
Like this is maybe stupid, but like if I see the Pauper journey, right, like the journey to nowhere.
The journey to nowhere. Journey to everywhere.
So it's very it's kind of like hypothetical question, existential one as well. Like, are the cards getting me anywhere? My journey to being Pauper champion.
Yeah, good one. We like it. On the negative side.
Okay.
Because like we always depict good players and winners as like winning of everything, but sometimes it's interesting to look into the dark sides, right? Sure. Was there ever a point where you thought about quitting Magic or Pauper or any of those?
Yep. Well, you know the answer.
I know the answer.
The truth is that in past I've already quit Magic twice, right? I've told that a couple of minutes ago. And it is true that I was actually thinking this will be my last big tournament. I really wanted this to be my last big tournament, like competitive Magic. I don't think I'll be able to cut MTG out of my life.
Mm-hmm.
I was just thinking maybe I could just still play with friends, like once, twice a month. And I really went to this Geddon, the idea that this should be the end, as I felt that I'm turning quite old, and I should focus more on other things in my life.
Well, apparently somebody did not agree with this, putting a crown on your bald head.
Yeah. Obviously, right now, like having this accomplishment, it's really, it gives me a sense of responsibility in a way.
Mm-hmm.
That I should perhaps like use this to do something with the title. Like I can perhaps like teach some kids the magic and stop them from doing drugs.
So is this a beginning or an end?
Hey, I'm not sure right now.
We'll see. Yeah.
I'm not sure right now. I've got some time to think things through.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know, like first big tournament, it's gonna be held in September. It's gonna be Katowice IPT in Poland.
We will go to Katowice IPT in Poland.
I promised the organizers that I'm going there.
Sure.
And there's gonna be a lot of tournaments in October. And I would actually like to use this season to play. On the. Feel like it might be nice if I just go around the Republic, maybe to Poland as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to go to Germany, to Leipzig. Where there's a great community. Last time the Germans they came to Prague in May. I would like to repay them the visit.
That would be nice.
So I'd like to go around, and share and gather with people.
So it's not an end. We will have
not yet.
Not yet. It's not that easy. This is more of a philosophical question.
Okay.
Which player has influenced your style the most? It can be anyone, like a friend, a Pro Tour player, like just a name or a couple names.
So, like, I can't tell you, like, LSV is my, he's the guy, like, he is great, obviously, but,
his Pauper knowledge is so deep.
Is it?
He's not a Pauper player, as far as I know, but he picked up on some Pauper recently, exploring the format, but of course he's not well known for Pauper, but for other formats and other, like, winnings. So I'm not sure how much related would this be, like, to Pauper, but you can as a play style, as a figure, as a winner.
Right, so I'm the giant mid-range player, right? So we could be talking about Reed Duke, but I don't think it makes sense. Like, so there's a couple of people I would like to mention here, and probably some of them would be my training partners, because like I'll tell you an example. Like a year ago with the giant deck, I realized I'm losing heavily into fairies.
Right.
And all the other giant guys were like, fairies is easy. Like, man, like what's wrong, right? So I told my friend Ondra, who's a strong fairies player, to help me, crack it. And we played for 8 hours straight. And like I started really with like 0 wins, 9 losses, for example. I was like, dude, like, how? Like they keep saying it's easy. It's like not easy. And then something happened. Something switched, and I switched, and the matchup turned 50-50, actually, after like 10, 20 games, right? But thanks to the training, I could adjust my playstyle, right? So, I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm answering the question as you intended.
No, that's okay.
But I would say, so my training partners, the friends from Prague, who I play with, influence my playstyle the most. And then perhaps I've seen a lot of content on YouTube, right, as well. So
many masters.
As I've seen like all the videos of Kaikais, for example. Like one of the first like real Pauper content creators.
I see. Was there a moment during the tournament, like moving on the winning Paupergeddon section? Was there a moment when you thought, like, I can have this, I can have the crown, I can win this? No is an answer.
Yeah, it was when I went to the finals. I was like, I can actually win this.
The finals.
Yeah. So the road is. I started with a really good score. I started as 6-0.
Right.
And then I lost 2 matches in a row, 6-2. And that brought me, like it was a good reality check. All right. Then the day after, and by the way, I'll be writing a report, like a full report out of the tournament. Soon I've got the draft. I'm just doing the editing now. I'll share it with you on Reddit. So I started day 2 with a match against Affinity, and I was like a little sleepy. I wasn't working, and at the end of the round, I got a warning for like I cycled, land. I cycled my fetch land. I did not have the proper mana to do it. I got a judge call, and I got a warning for doing that. I mean, that really helped me to wake up, and start like focusing on the game a bit more. But because of that, I was not sure I'm winning anything, this time. And the whole day 2, I kept thinking like I can do one more. I can do one more, and I kept winning. Kept going on through the tournament. And I just kept focusing on the one game ahead of me. So I was not really thinking about winning the whole tournament. Actually,
one more.
Yeah, one more. Like one that was important. Like having the one step in front of me.
You were quite chill during the mindset was there. Like you were there playing Magic, and you were like, yeah, I won. I had this thing. I won 1-0. So you kept like this long game, couple times actually. You had a couple 1-0. So you played one game, and you're like, okay, I'm calm. I can do this. Like one more game, and then one more game till the victory is like that works. Like that's a strategy. So that also teaches something about the mindset, I think. You said something earlier. I like.
It's. I told you before, like when I'm losing, I start losing my mood as well. Right? I don't think I'm like aggressive or angry toward the enemy player, but I'm more like, the world is a sad place. This kind of like it's more like a sadness, not like aggressivity in me. But while I kept winning, I had this like big part of hope in me, and it held me all together. And then like from the start of day 2, like the people in front of me were clearly nervous.
Well, yeah, because like day 2 is an achievement nowadays, right? Paupergeddon is 1,000+ players.
Yeah, and it is an achievement.
It is, right?
Doing day 2 is like a huge achievement. Like 10% of people do it, or like how many? 15%.
Yeah, I remember at the beginning. Also, the quality of players like increased very much.
Oh yeah.
Like I remember my first Paupergeddons, I was like day 2ing every single time. Like it was almost for granted. Like it was like easy because like less people, like new beginners, and now day 2ing is actually a challenge.
Yeah, the community grew. Right, there's been players who play Pro Tours, right? Like the competition is really like at the top of the top tables. Yeah. The competition is really high.
Very much.
So you have really strong opponents, like real names, right?
And tournament is longer. Right? Like math has implications in this. Yeah. Like if you want to win now, it's 17 rounds. Like 8 + 6 + 3 of top 8. And at the beginning, it was much less. Like first Paupergeddons were 40 people, and 50 people, and 100 people, and then 600 people, and 1,000. It was 1,069 people this time.
So my first one was like 621 people. Yeah. And the tickets were sold out in 3 minutes. Yeah, I remember that.
I remember I found a screenshot on my old phone about like me sharing Paupergeddon tickets received with my friends. It was like 20 euro altogether, single day. And it was not even the first one, so like the tournament has grown a lot.
It's so amazing, right? Like Like it's doing it's a lot of work for community. I mean, like thanks to Paupergeddon, Pauper as format has become a real format. Like if there wasn't the Paupergeddon, I think it would be very a niche part of Magic.
That's very possible.
And right now it feels like one of the most important things you do in a competitive Magic right now.
Yeah, it's community driven still, but Italians guys, so big thumbs up for them. Like they are doing a great job in like this big organizational puzzle, and we can see the struggle. I know people in the organization, and like they are super stressed all the time that that everything must go in the right place, and most of the time it is the case. So like big thumbs up for them, but this doesn't cancel the fact that the tournament has become like much larger. So it's big of a challenge for them, but also for players. So winning a Paupergeddon now, to my eyes, is like bigger value than winning Paupergeddon, I don't know, like 5-10 years ago, for like community level. So people playing Magic better and better, but also more people mean more round. So you cannot like get lucky for 17 rounds, right?
Oh, you can't get lucky for 17 rounds straight, but of course, like you still need to get lucky to be able to get to the top.
Yeah.
Like my opponent in the finals, he just mulliganed to 5, kept like a 1-lander, basically gave me a free game. It's just
that's just sad to see, right?
It was unfair to the point where I was like, there should be a way around this in the finals. Perhaps like
best of 5. Some people do best of 5.
Oh yeah, no.
But yeah, we do best of 5.
We do as the 5, but it's not after like 2 days of Magic.
It's not after 2 days of Magic. People are tired.
Yeah, sure. But I was So what I wanted to say actually to the question before is like from the start of the day 2, I've seen people being nervous in front of me, and that just gave me a real sense of calmness.
Right.
Actually, because I was like, hey, dude, like if this guy is afraid of me, just stay calm, he'll do the mistakes eventually.
I lost the question. Just give me a second.
This was that one.
That one.
Yeah. So that was. Yeah. So to answer the question once again, like I kept focusing on the game in front of me.
Right.
And we came to a point where like all the guys started to be really nervous, and I understand it, right? Because I was X to like losing this round meant like no chance for top 8 actually.
Right. I remember telling you, I was like, man, you just need not to lose.
Yeah.
You used all of your wild cards. We had like this unreal conversation about wild cards, and I was like, you have no like losses you can take today. And I'm like, okay, sure, let's go. Let's do it.
Yeah, it was like so on the Saturday evening. I'm like a friend texts me like, how did you go? And I'm like, yeah, so I was 6-0 and then I dropped to 6-2. And he's like, yeah, sure, no problem. Like tomorrow you'll do 6-0 again. I'm like, yeah, obviously. Like
it's as easy as that, right? But well,
it was a plan actually.
It was a secret plan.
With John, you always need to have a plan.
Yeah. Are we ready to go? Yeah.
Yep.
This is probably a wildcard question, but to my eyes, I probably know the answer, but maybe you want some space to tell it to the public. So is there a match, like an opponent or a deck or a matchup you played against that tells the story of the whole tournament?
The whole tournament?
Or something that is more like characteristic and you want to like that has the best percentage of the win, so the hardest. Just to make you an example, I recently played an IPT and I was on Affinity, and first match I didn't know my opponent, like the deck. I knew that my opponent is a very good player and he was on mono white. So I started the mulligan to 4 and he starts with like planes, Traveling Inspector, and like, okay, I'm dead. That's not my APT, right? And slowly, like being focused, I won that game and I won that match. And I was like, okay, that's the whole fatigue of the tournament. Like nothing can be harder than this, because it was actually a very, very hard game and I managed to win. So I would like describe my whole tournament with this like single one. Is there anything similar to you happening in Paupergeddon?
So I spoke a lot about the match number 12. because it's been like a really special moment. And I'm not sure, like, I'm just right now I'm thinking like if I should be telling a different story actually, because this one I've already talked about before, and I will be talking about it more in the future. So I might be saying a different story.
Maybe your first round.
My first round. Look, my first couple of rounds were actually really hard matches.
Yeah.
And I'll be writing about that in my report soon.
We can even not answer. Like we can say,
it's a good
see you
question.
later.
Yeah, it's a good question. Which match best tells the story of your tournament? I'm not sure I can answer this in an interesting.
You can just like postpone.
Yeah, so there was like one moment
Okay.
that kept like going with me the whole tournament was that I played a little different version of John than is
Right.
played nowadays, right?
And there will be time for that, yeah.
And there will be time for that. But you know, my round 4 opponent, Luca the artist.
Oh, right.
You met him too.
Yeah,
right?
very cool guy. Yeah.
He's on Affinity, and he's, I'd say, in a winning position, but he has like empty board, full grip of cards. I just have my Chrysalis on board, and he's on 20 live, and he thinks like he's got so much time, and all the time in the world. And I just slammed the Hydra for 6 on the Chrysalis, and I killed him in 2 hits. And he was like, "What?
Yeah.
What?
Notably, Affinity cannot kill Hydra on a Chrysalis.
Like,
yeah.
What? Hydra? No way." You know, so that's one of the stories around me. This tournament was like people were not prepared for the Hydra, and the Hydra did like most of the dirty work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your live motive for this Geddon, and you will read about it in the report, right?
Yeah.
It's gonna be a detailed report. I read it in preview, and it's a great piece of work, even at the draft stage. So like, stay tuned for that, because like you're gonna share it soon. Okay, let's see what's next. What was the very first thing that went through your mind after you won?
You will probably not believe this, but I was like, "That's it." That's it. I just became the champion. I don't deserve this, you know. Did I really won the game? Am I the champion? Like how? Like I couldn't believe it. I was like,
Yeah,
this happened. Like, did this really happen?
it did. It did.
Like you know, a couple of days ago, I had a dream where the dream was about like meeting my ex-girlfriend, and we kind of like got back together, and I used to smoke a lot, and I quit a couple of years ago. And in the dream, I was smoking cigars and talking with my ex, and that felt more real than actually winning the Paupergeddon finals.
Wow. Well, you don't really wake up in the morning and say, "Okay, today I'm gonna win Paupergeddon," right?
Oh yeah.
Like you're not ready for that, because like you can lose anytime. Especially like the more you go up with the standings, the more you go up in the top 8, the better players are there. Like on average, that's the idea. And you're gonna like, oh, like, am I losing this? Am I like the champion, or like right below the champion, or right below the champion?
So I was thinking maybe like, so there's no more one more win, right?
There is no more one more win at that point, yeah.
And that, you know, and so I won the game, and then everybody's looking at me. Giovanni is giving me the hand, and I'm like, yeah, I shake it. And then like the judges, the organizers, the stream guys are like, do something, you know, like waving their hands at me. So I'm like, I should go to my guys right now, and they're like pointing in that direction, like, go to your crowd. You know, there's been like 10 Czechs standing behind me the whole time, and they're like, oh, you know, they really wanted to celebrate, and I was like, this is happening? Like,
yeah, it was unreal. Probably for 2 reasons. One of which was that you probably didn't really play the game 2, right? You mentioned it earlier.
There was like a non-game, game 2.
Sad non-game, but you know, like the final, when we spectate the final, we always want action. Like there has to be like a fair fight. It is like won by the best player who catches the small thing every single time. But sometimes Magic also gives this non-games. So you played a very nice game 1, if I remember correctly.
No, it's actually game 1. So game 1, I got stumbled. I had like a lot of mana problems. Actually, game 1
was game 1.
So I got run over really quickly without me like being able to stabilize the board. Game 2, my opponent actually mulliganed to 5 and got one lander. So by the time he was able to start playing the game, I had like 10 mana, right? And Chrysalis, so there was non-game. And game 3 felt kind of okay. The opponent had some start, killed my Chrysalis, but he gave me all the time in the world, basically to prepare my everything, right? So I've seen Duress, I've seen all the Battle Screeches, which are really good, really strong in the matchup. Basically, they're pretty much the only reason the matchup might be favored towards mono white. The Battle Screeches.
And the Dust to Dust is probably...
yeah, I don't like that choice. I personally think it's a cheese choice, and I think it makes the mono white deck worse, actually, having the Dust to Dust.
And you managed to go through that without makeshift munitions. Like there will be time for that, but wow.
Like, what do you mean? Like, there was no makeshift munitions in my list.
You forgot about it? Like, I submitted 74 cards.
Like, the whole time I was like thinking, like, something's missing. Was it the munitions? Really? Yeah. No. It's like...
That's intentional.
That's intentional. Look, long story short, like, there was times in the past where I played 2 munitions.
In Jund?
No, in Affinity.
Affinity, right. Or
like in time, or in Boros. But munitions got worse. I mean, the power level is still insane. It feels like everybody has an answer to that lately. Like,
even what?
I played on Friday. I played the top player, Pauper player tournament. I played the munition, like I sided it out almost every game. I played it once I put it once on the table against Affinity, and it died to Blue Blast immediately, like end of turn. So I don't think, in the end, I've realized like the Hydra is doing the same thing as munition does. Basically, it's the inevitability, Ancient Man based. But you can return the Hydra by a Pulse of Murasa, for example. And the Hydra gives you a layer of protection
and
as well.
Flexibility, I think.
And more... Well...
You can put it on a spawn, like even a spawn.
Yeah, it can go around sleep, for example.
Around sleep?
Yeah. So it goes around strands. It has like this kind of haste.
Right.
So there's tricks. Of course, the munitions also do heavy lifting as well. Well, I will talk about it probably in the close future, in the near future.
Absolutely.
More in depth.
Absolutely. Moving on to the sentimental part. Is there anyone you'd like to thank? Like maybe someone who contributed, like except for your playtesting buddies, as you mentioned already, like a person, not necessarily Magic related.
Look, I need to thank the whole team around me. I mean, like the Prague tournament team. It's like it's you. It's like Stepan Pardubický, like is the one who plays the most Magic with me in person. Because it's you and Stepan are the 2 people I play Magic the most. And like I'm usually preparing for all the tournaments with you, and I'm learning different decks with you and different matchups. And apart from just making me a better Magic player, you're also helping me with the support part. Like sometimes when I keep losing for a bit, for a longer period of time, that happened in the spring, for example. I felt like, yeah, I've lost it. I felt like there's, I felt like I probably got the dumper or something really happened, because there was like 7 tournaments and I was like 2 wins, 2 losses, in them. And I felt like, what happened? And we came from Paupergeddon in the spring-geddon, and I had like a really bad score, in March. I was in Affinity and I got paired with like 4 white decks.
And then I've control.
And listen, I've lost to a mulligan to 2 by a spy deck. And that was it. I felt like, nah. Like, I've run out of luck. I stopped being, okay player. Like, something happened, and it was thanks to you and Stepan. I think you really just helped me get back to it, into it.
Oh, that's very nice to hear. But it's also a very nice way to say that mental is very, very important.
Yeah.
Like, I remember your attitude towards the game after like the chat we had about mental and everything. And like most of the time I saw you there and they're like, today I kill people. Like, I'm a killing machine. I'm going there like, okay, I'm going to destroy whatever opponent I'm having in front. And you're like actually getting better and better. Like, this is a bit of an extreme, but the mindset you have towards the game, you like as a general like person speaking, it's very, very relevant towards the victory. Because if you go to a tournament and you're like, okay, maybe I'm a bit tired, I'm gonna lose, I'm gonna play into bad matchups. Like, I don't think this is a winning proposition. Like, maybe not being like the total opposite is also bad. Being like underestimating everything is also bad. But having the right mindset, which I claim you had during Paupergeddon, is definitely contributing to a victory. Like, as you said, this is like a beautiful sentence you said before we started the recording, which was like, playing the game of Magic, like being good at the game of Magic, is not the only skill you need to win.
Oh yeah, it's like winning tournaments. There's more to that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That's very like educational, I think. But yeah, very, very nice to hear. And I think this is a good like thinking point for listeners and for people who are gonna like listen to these words, that actually like playing good Magic, like that needs to be the basis. And then you start building up on some other skills. Like, it's a different skill set. You can play good Magic and win an LGS, but if you want to go to like top levels, you need like control of the board state, control of the time, control of the mindset, control of your opponent, checking like rules and everything.
You need to have a good control about yourself as well, right? Like, so if you lose, well, you need to take the loss, throw it behind you, and maybe get back to it in the evening after the tournament. But right now, like, don't focus on it. Focus on what's in front of you. Like, one more win. That's like
being there.
Keep being in the moment. Keep being in the game. Because very often when your mind is disturbed, you lose the game and then you go like, yeah, I was unlucky, perhaps. But you can't know for sure because your mind was just not there. Maybe you did some mistakes you are not even aware of. Obviously, if you get like matchups, like these random matchups where an elf just runs over you.
But the matchup roulette, that's something you cannot control. And sometimes this shouldn't influence the mindset of an old tournament. Like, you can lose in a big tournament and still win it, right? You had your wild cards. Like, you lost 2 times, even if they won. And that's something important to share, I think. That like you can lose to somebody and still win. So the mindset should like stay over there. That's very, very nice, I think. And that's the question that I received like a sneak peek earlier, like going through your deck list, your ideas. This is a very beautiful story, I partially know. But how does an unusual, and this is like a bit of a hard word to say because like Junt is Junt, but there are some deck choices that made it to the victory, unlike others, because like many people got the classic Junt with like Dixians, with munitions. I would like you to explain your ideas and how that became like a winning like deck list, right?
Yeah. So a true non-gender has just spoken, right? So you say the classic list with the Dixians.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the classic list. The classic list is with the Hydras. Okay, so
Like the OG list.
so we have the OG list, and then we have like the new evolved, let's call it Walker list, like the newest Walker list with the Gixians.
Yeah, he was the first one to put Gixians.
The first one I am aware of. Like
Same, yeah.
I've seen like look. So the Jaunt is probably like 2 years old deck now. It started evolving in the Glee metagame, right? So that was an interesting metagame. It was very good for competitive players. It was not very fun for more casual players because the decks, it was clear. The metagame was quite clear. You know, we had like 3 really strong decks. That was Kulota, Glee with like two versions of the Glee. You had Affinity as the like 3 real tier 1 decks, and then you had like some tier 2 decks. Like let's say Mono Blue was okay, but not there yet. Familiars were good with a strong pilot, but you know, like FAMs, you know, have their days where they shine and days where they just don't do anything. You probably Dimmer was playable, and so this was the metagame, and then the Jaunt, you know, has shown up as a new playable archetype, which kind of evolved the Affinity, like the best cards, you know,
and it was
possible.
not even Wildfire at the beginning. Like the first Jaunt decklist I remember were like into like this Glee combo idea, because like it all came together at a thing, because like Jaunt Wildfire is a modern Horizon 3 deck as well as Glee is, right? They like grew up together. There was like this Jaunt Glee version, and then someone was like, hey, but those are good cards. Let's remove the combo and just play with the good cards, right?
Maybe you had to cut the combo off in some matchups, and you set it in, like, I don't know the exact evolution. So this is what happened like 2 years ago, right? So the Jaunt has arrived, and and after the bans, which came like later, 6 months later, which banned solved the Kuldota problem, solved the Glee problem, a new meta has opened up, okay? And people started experimenting. Probably Gixians. I remember Gixians. I used to play Gixians in Affinity when there was no Familiar, there was no Utrom. We had Frogmans and Mirrors.
I also tried it.
We played the Gixians, which worked well because you had like 8 dispute effects or fanatical offering effects, like how we call it now. It kind of worked. It was a big creature, and it's really synergistic with the rest of the Jaunt deck. It gives you more threats. So the Jaunt deck is very often it feels really sluggish. You only have like 4 big creatures. You know, the Hydra, the Familiar is a cool utility creature, but it's small, right? So it doesn't finish the games in time you want it. So adding like some more threats actually made the deck better. It could present a stronger clock, which is important, like a year ago where you needed to play against combo decks like High Tide, for example. So it really worked. It fit in nicely. I don't want to get like in too much into depth about because I could be talking for hours. And I've been playing Jaunt for over a year now. I've tried like different setups of creatures. I know like what they do, where they are not, where they're good, when they are not. So how does an unusual deck idea evolve into Paupergeddon winning list? Look, it's kind of, it's like this inner experience. Like a year ago, I did top 25 and I did something nobody else did, right? I played 2 Thorns.
Right, the Thorns.
2 Thorns.
Yeah, I remember that.
Like even like a judge saw, I was like 7-0, and the judge went around and he seen me playing Thorn game 1. He was like, he deck checked me immediately because he felt like I forgot the sideboarding. And I played 2 Thorns on purpose because I thought that the metagame is going to be like sluggish, slow. I felt like, yeah, this is the reason I will be winning the games. I'll be actually winning with the Thorns main deck. And it actually was a really good meta call, and it worked at that moment. This time, I've opted for a slightly different approach. So so we have two versions of Jant working right now. One is the Gixian list, no recursion, no toxin. That's good in some matchups. And then the other, and let's call it Volker list, right? And then online you can see the older, more controlling Hydra list by Blaze, who also plays a lot of Jant, has a lot of achievements with it. For some reasons, people are copying Volker more than actually take inspiration from Blaze. Maybe because Blaze plays the same list for a year, right? So you always want to try out the new thing. And on the TPP event, I've played pretty much the Volker list with one change to the list that he plays 4 Gixians. Usually I played 3 Gixians, 1 Hydra, because the Hydra really, by experience, it solves a lot of problems of the deck. Right. And I got some data before we play the games. And one of the most important things for me was a year ago, I was winning most of the games against Mono Blue. Mono Blue Terror, I think, is one of the strongest decks in the format. And by the changes of the Jant list in the year towards the newer version, as unbelievable as it sounds, the win rates dropped. Yeah. From a 65% matchup, it went to a 45 or 40% matchup. And it felt unbelievable, right? I played 4 spell bombs. All the Gixians. The Gix is bigger than Thor, than a snake, right? So it felt weird that we are losing the matchup now. So I started thinking what made the matchup good back then? And why doesn't it work now? Because the Delver list, they did not change that much, right? And I started putting the Hydras in. And then I've put the Pyroblasts in a little, 2 seemed enough. But I really wanted to play them where Volker skipped them. And then I've realized, the Toxin is really good if your opponent doesn't know it's there. But the Toxin with the Gixie, it doesn't work, right? So I was so if you cut the Gixies, what does win the game? More Hydra, probably. And from some tournaments in the spring, I realized people don't usually expect the Hydra, but they never expect the second Hydra. And the second Hydra gives you a huge amount of flexibility, right? Because you can just waste the first one. If you only have one, you need to keep it in your hand. You need to guard it. This is your win con. This is how you win the game 10 years from 10 years. Yeah, 10 turns from now. But if you have 2, you can just waste the first one. And actually the first one, a small Hydra, 5-6, it sometimes win the game on its own.
Small Hydra 5-6.
Yeah, 5-6, here, trample.
I mean,
and people no way. I won a game against Affinity with a 4 or 5 Hydra, I think. Just kept attacking into a Kenku land. And I always pushed 2 damage through, it was a 5-6, I think.
Away from Galvanic Blast, and it stays there.
Yeah, or kept attacking.
Putting the first one as a 2-3 to block ninjas, to block fairies, and then have the
you can just waste it, And
recursion.
It really works. It really works as a great diversion. Because you're always if I kill this Hydra, right, the game's gonna be easy from now on. Right? They don't know you have a second one.
So 2 Hydras.
Yeah, and the recursion works really well because all the other Jant cut the recursion. So now somebody sees Jant list, they cut the bombs, the trim, the gray hate, right?
Yes.
So they cut it out, and if they see it game 1, they keep it, and I side it out. I side the recursion out, and they keep the bombs in. So it's it gives you a lot of playing something different than everybody else's. It gives you plays for these mind games. And sometimes it actually gives you extra points, and it wins the game.
Gives you edge. Yeah, I agree.
So, back to the start. How does an unusual deck idea evolve into Paupergeddon winning list? It's experience, actually. Really. It's been a year of experience with Jant, with trying different builds, different creatures. And after on a Friday TPP event, I've realized the list I'm playing, the Walker list, it just doesn't have enough tools to beat Mono Red consistently. It just doesn't have enough tools to beat Mono Blue consistently.
People know it.
And people know it.
And
these are like two of the strongest decks in the metagame. And like, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, this highlights something I was thinking even earlier, which is like your John decklist. Maybe like we don't know, we would like need to run simulations or play infinite amount of games. Maybe it's not the strongest in terms of raw power overall, but you gain this edge just because you do something differently that people do not expect. As you said, people do not expect the second hider. So you might like steal some games just because people are like, okay, the popular version, like whatever that is, plays one top.
Yeah.
So if they see like the first hider trashed, they're like, okay, I can comfortably go full attacks here and I'm not going to lose, right? So your decklist might not be like the strongest in the abstract, but it's the strongest in like some games specifically because opponents are human beings and they cannot like, they don't think that something else might have changed, right, along the way.
Yeah, definitely. Like this is game with limited amount of information.
Yeah.
So like, if you play the stock list, you give your opponent a lot more important, like a lot more information,
right.
that they don't have to have. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's one important thing. The other thing is, I know my play style.
That is also true.
And the list is built specifically for my playstyle, so it might not work for everybody. Even like what made me proud was people copying my list and actually having some success with that. So
in the business we call it Jund Plachý.
Yeah, Jund
Plachý. Yeah. So good to know. Good to know. Also the concept of stance, like your decklist is much more defensive than others. But I think there will also be time in the future to talk about it.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. But that is definitely another standard for John that we saw even in the recent days. Moving on. Not necessarily related to John, but what is one card or a deck building choice that you will always defend? Like even if like I show up and I say it's wrong, and I'm not the only one saying that, but like other people or like an entire community. This is like a broad question, and we actually have a bet on this, as I probably mentioned. So
yeah, so I'm curious about what your tip is. Now, let's start with the John deck.
Let's
try to move to more general direction. Okay, but with the John list, I've been the defender of Lembas, right?
True.
For a long time, and I don't think, like some people are like, some people have very strong opinion on this. Like they say like Iker Wellspring is so much stronger than Lembas is. It might be true or it might not be true. I'm not sure about that either. But Lembas is more utility. And like, look, like Hydra is the strongest card. Like given infinite time,
right?
Hydra is the strongest card in the deck, in a way, but you only play one or two, right? Like Munitions is, but you only play one if you play it. Like, Chrysalis, you could probably play 8 if you could. You would play 8 if you could, but you can only play 4. But is Chrysalis the strongest card in the deck? Well, it's the core card, right? So what I want to go into is that you don't usually play 4 of your strongest cards. Or like very often you don't play 4 of your strongest card in your deck just because, look, we need to fit all of stuff,
right?
Or like a lot of things into 60 cards. It's really hard. Like something sometimes needs to go out. For example, Blaze, he plays 2 Wellspring, 2 Lembas, 4 Spellbombs as the rocks in his deck, and 2 Blood Fountains, right?
Right.
So like this is what he does, and it's like a lot different than what everybody else is doing, but he keeps having success with the deck list. So there probably is a point into cutting a Wellspring in favor of Lembas, which would gain me like more life gain. And actually this decision has probably been very impactful in my mono red matchups as I've increased my life gain spells from like 3 to 6, you know, compared or from 2 to 6 actually main deck. So you always, you know, like with the deck building, you always kind of like probably have to sacrifice something to gain something.
Right.
And it really depends, like, what kind of player are you? Like, what are you trying to achieve? And the Lambas, it gives you a lot of space. Like, the Scry is important, the ability to sacrifice itself to itself to itself.
Yeah,
gain life, you know?
Yeah.
Acre Wellspring probably has like a stronger raw power. Lambas is more utility, and what I was looking in my list specifically was the utility.
That's the ever-growing question, right? Card quantity over card quality. So Lambas offers you a bit of card selection and quality, right? So you might like skip one turn by bottoming something and hope to draw the better card, right? Instead of just drawing a land when you have like 15.
Or maybe Lambas helps you. So Lambas helps you in a really important spot, and it's finding for the third land.
And it's a late game card.
Really need to hit the third land. Lambas hits the third land very often. Very often it does it for you. And that's really important thing, I believe. So there's like, and we are just talking about Jant again. You know, like I wanted to go into more general direction.
No, but it's okay. Like, this is a valid answer.
Yeah,
like, you're very into John, so that's also a strong opinion. There is a comment from chat that if you play more Lambas, you see 10 Lambas. Yeah, and that's actually happened, right?
Yeah, I think in my report I've wrote that I've really ate Lambas 7 times in my 12th round.
Which is possible because they shuffle it like together in the deck.
It shuffle itself so much.
Lambas deck. Oh, there is like a question from chat. Like, how was Geddon?
How was Geddon? Hot. Like, if I have to say one word, it was like hot and sweaty.
Before even the win.
Yeah.
Wow. Geddon was cool. I guess our friend here won it.
Yeah.
So it was a success. The crown is in Czech Republic by John Plachý. And I hope I will popularize this name because this was like like informal before our friend won Paupergeddon.
Like
within
how you call it, like closed joke, like inside joke.
Yeah.
An inside joke, right? So I was Jan the Plachý, and the other Jan guy is Ben Jantmin.
So yes, we have Junt players. It's in the name. It's in the name.
Proper Junt players.
Okay. Interesting. And this brings us to actually something I wanted to ask you. After Geddon, so ignoring the result itself, but even like how you felt with the deck, with the deck list, is there anything you would change? You know, like sometimes you say like, okay, tournament was good, but I would replace this for this. Is this the case?
So I really liked my deck list. Like just after the tournament, I remember saying I would not change a single card in the 75. I was really happy with it. If I got another chance, perhaps, like I would like to switch. Perhaps I would switch my Blood Fountain with a Sagu now. Realizing, not gardens, but the decking. You know,
decking
like a couple of times, I really got super close to decking myself out. And it already started in a Friday match on like my round 5 or 6 against Affinity when I've lost the second game because I've drawn all the cards in my deck. And the opponent had a little bit more removal than Affinity usually does. And he killed everything I had.
No more souls. And
there was like nothing in the deck, right?
Yeah.
So I could probably win it with the Sagu. Yeah, so there was... And Friday really like changed my view on what I should be playing. I'll talk about it a little bit more in my report, which is coming soon. So yeah, I would try changing the fountain for the Sagu because the fountain it kind of worked and it kind of did not. Anyway,
it's a mind game, right? More than
but it's
it's a strong card, but like.
Like
given the
it
premise.
also won me a game, actually. It definitely won me a game in a Dimmer Terror matchup, and I just got like 2 Chrysalis out, and the opponent was like, yeah, sure, you got 2 Chrysalis, and I was like, oh man, like scoop now, like we don't have to play, like you let me have this.
It also improves the mana base a bit.
It helps, yeah. No, Sagu helps. The Sagu helps, but then the Fountain helps kind of like getting the artifact count high for the Shaman. Right. So both these cards have some merit. I would love to fit the munitions in. People keep asking me about the munitions.
So you still miss it a bit. Like it's still something that...
Yeah, like, for example, round 7, I've lost my Giant Mirror because of munitions. Right. I didn't have them, my opponent had them. But as well, the Giants, like the munitions are so strong with Gixians, and if you don't have them, and I'm already beaten the main munitions matchups are Affinity and Giant, I think.
The grindy ones, yeah.
Yeah, where it matters the most, and I'm already like I should be winning this with the Hydra, right? So that's why earlier I said like the munitions and the Hydra are in a sense very similar, right? So I wouldn't mind the Sagu. I would go in and try it with Sagu, actually. Or maybe I could cut a Toxin, perhaps play a second one in a sideboard.
Isn't sideboard super tight? Like playing a 3-color?
Yeah, so really, and I played 24 rounds of Magic, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I've met one blue deck the whole time, so...
Blue was not very successful at this
Blue was not very successful and not presented. So I'm not sure, like, if I really need the Pyros right now.
Data speak the same thing.
Yeah. So, but at the same time, I had the Pyro when I had it in the one blue matchup of Matt, and it was really impactful because I had it. It killed a Terror actually. So it could have just been
a fifth cast down.
Another cast down per.
Yeah. Good point. Moving on to the preparation. So like when you show up for tournaments like this, like when you prepare for them, is there anything you value? Like the data, like the numbers run by other people, your intuition, your experience from other people, like how do you do it?
It's all of it, right? It's all of it, and it should be all of it for all the people. So in a sense, right now the experience. So first thing is the magic, playing the magic part. Okay, so the experience is the form of like having played the matchups, understanding the matchups, having the plan, right? So how do this deck work? I'm playing again. Like, where is their weak spot? I'm gonna be the control player. So when is the turning point? Like when do I become the beast, the big Hydra which ends the game, right? So that's the experience part. The data part is really important. I believe in like preparing your deck list. For example, if we know that there's gonna be like 20% of the field is gonna be white decks, like you should not be playing Affinity, right? Like you're gonna get dusted to oblivion, right? If
you see data in that way. Oh, okay, I see.
Right, so it's really important for preparation, like what deck to choose and what like cards to play in your deck.
When I wrote this question, I meant data in the sense of win rates.
Win rates,
not necessarily in the sense of like meta share, right?
Yeah, understandable. Like, look, if I meet a Madness player in front of me, and he starts, mounting, something which gives him away, like looting Sniper away. Like, what do I care about the win rates? Like, I need to beat him anyway.
Yeah. That's.
I can just say like, yeah, whatever. You're Madness. I'm John. Like, it's yours. Ciao. I'm not gonna play. But in the end, I don't think this is how you should be using your data. So what do you need to do? Like, for example, I told you before about the mono blue matchup, right? Like I had to learn to play into fairies, and all the Junders were like, "Yeah, it's an easy matchup," and I was like, "No, it's not. It's not. I'm losing. I keep losing." Do you have this data? It doesn't work out, right? Like all the other guys say, like, "That's good," and you feel like this is not working out.
Right.
So you can use this piece of data, like you're missing some information.
Isn't this
Probably.
experience?
So this is my experience. Well, the data will tell you that you are missing something.
Right, I see.
And then you play the games and gain the experience, and through that you gain probably the knowledge of how to play it, or you'll develop something new,
Right.
like the other guys are missing. And then there's the intuition part. And now that's something that happened to me at the start of June. We had the league finals. I was playing against LSK on her Affinity list. And she knew she's going to play me in the first round. So she prepared, and she played Thorn in the main deck, And we have round 3. Round 3, the last game. And I'm attacking with something. I have both of us have it's third turn, okay? I have freelance. She's got freelance. She's gonna play the card, the 4th land next turn. And I have my cleansing Boltfire in the hand, right? And there's 2 open mana. And
Dilemma.
and I know because of open sideboard, I knew that she's got Cast into the Fire. And she has 2 open mana. So I attack in with a Troublemaker Oath. And then I'm like, so what do I do now? Do I Vaultfire myself? And if she has the Cast into the Fire, that's bad, right? So do I Cast into the Fire her land? And if she has a draw spell, I lose value, right? Or I can just pass because, I'm superior on the board. And I don't have to do anything basically right now because I'm not missing cards. I'm not missing value. I have my land drops. I don't need to anything, right?
And what did you choose? Because
my God, my tummy says, kill the land. Kill the land, dude. I was like, no, shh. I won't be doing that, that's stupid. I will be losing value. There's no point in losing value. So I did nothing in the end. I passed the priority. She kills my dude, my Ope with a cast down. On tops, plays a land, slams a Thorn, right? And I've lost. Basically, at the moment, I know I've lost the game, and my tummy was like, kill the land. And if I would do that,
you would probably win that.
I would probably win that because I would the next turn I would play another creature, and then she couldn't kill my creature and do more stuff, right? So sometimes the intuition gives you a really good hint. And if you're getting a really strong hint from your body, it's inner data, inner experience. It's a hint you're missing something, something important.
It's a good combination of the 3 of
them.
And
definitely need to use all of these.
Yeah, good, nice. I know some people value data over intuition or experience or the other way around. So I think this is a very good question to understand where is your balance. If you had to put these things in order, what's more important for you and for others. But yeah. Playtesting. How do you know that a deck is ready? And I know that you actually decided for this specific deck list the night before. So this is actually a good question for you. It's how do you feel that the deck is ready to fight?
Well, you only really know after you play games. I think you only really know after you've put it to the test. So you perhaps to see if something works. That may be the data work in the end. First you experiment, and then you collect the data, and you look into the results and see what's going on. So, for example, I told you, the new version of Jaunt with Gixians, it felt on paper that it should be crazy good against mono blue, but I kept losing into mono blue. And okay, my sparring partner on mono blue is an amazing player, really better than more other guys. But I'm going into a tournament where every on the top there's only amazing players, right?
Yeah.
So I need to be prepared for it. So how do I know a deck is actually ready? Well, very often it's not about the deck being ready, it's about you being ready as well.
The player, right? A perfect deck list might might as well not exist, I think.
If you have a perfect list, like it would disbalance the metagame to the point where it would need to get banned. Right?
Or a ban, or like suboptimal deck lists, but like countering this optimal deck list would actually be better. So like it's a spiral, right? It's a snake. And yeah, that's interesting point, and that proves how complicated Magic is, right?
So with the non-blue decks, you should always aim, I believe, for maximum consistency. Like the less one-offs your deck has. And I mean, we're not talking about blue, because blue has some like a lot of card selection and tutors, for example. Right? Like the Tron deck works because you teachings for your one-offs. Right. Because you have the tutor pieces. So you can play a lot of one-offs in a deck like this. But in a Junt, like you want to be as consistent as you can. So the more copies you play of a single card, and some good Magic player in the past have said that you should always only play like 2 or 4 cards of each card in the deck. Like not less, not more, not 3 or 1. Maybe that's a little bit of autism in it, but I believe that's there's a lot to that, because the consistency really helps you achieve not only consistent results, but consistent situations in game, right?
So the strict answer is that you kind of don't know, and the player has to be ready.
Well, you only know after. You only know after.
Moving on the building and preparing topic again, when you see other players preparing for big tournaments, what is a mistake that you would like underline, or something you would notice definitely?
Okay, so my personal experience is, look, your list doesn't need to be perfect. Even for 17 rounds tournament, like maybe the 15th card in the sideboard, it can be like that one or that one. Don't think about it too much. Like your matchups in the end are going to be like very random, especially day one. You can have the perfect card in the sideboard, and you'll meet completely different decks. And one of the biggest mistakes I see players making, they keep thinking about this card to the 2 in the morning, and then they don't sleep actually, and they come super tired, and they make stupid mistakes because they're not prepared.
They're not ready mentally.
They're asleep. The biggest mistake really for the tournaments. It's like one of the biggest mistakes. Like not taking enough care for your body and your mind, because you need both of these actually a lot more than you can think, especially if you're new to tournament gaming. So this would be the one I mentioned. And then the other one would be like over-exaggerating like the threat of.
What do you mean by this?
Again, from my personal experience. So the Geddon in spring, I was not playing Junt, even though I had most consistent and the best results with my Junt deck. And I opted to play Affinity because it felt much stronger in the mono-red matchup. I was like, mono-red is 10% of the meta. I'm not winning with Junt. But at the same time, I was thinking like Junt is pretty good into everything else. So like I had like 90% of the matchups covered with my Junt knowledge. So over-exaggerating, matchups. Like 10% of madness is really strong against Junts. Like being Junt.
How many madness players have you played against at Geddon?
This time. Well, this time I got really lucky. I only played once into madness.
Oh, I
got a lucky win.
And you won, yeah.
But at the same time, on Friday, TPP event, I played into mono-red decks.
The whole day, right?
4 times. My first 4 rounds were mono-red decks. Now on purpose, not saying madness, because of only like 2 madness and 2 mixed decks.
But that's an outlier. Like even if madness is like overrepresented, that's hard to play into like madness or red decks so much, so that you feel like that half of your sideboard is useless. Like, okay, I'm playing with 7-card sideboard, like 6-card sideboard. So maybe Geddon is more representative of the actual meta share. Yeah.
So it's actually that gave me the idea how to finish this idea. So like sometimes a matchup is so bad that even if you side in 15 cards,
it does. Yeah.
And that reminds me of the Giant against High Tide metagame. Like I could go 6 Pyros, 4 Duress, like 3 Okibas, all into the Giant. I would rip apart my deck, make it basically unbalanced, not working piece.
To just defeat one.
To try to defeat one, and like the High Tide would just Giga drowns me anyway and just go over me. So you can just like if you're not winning if there's a matchup, you're not winning. Just give up on it. Don't try to
and try
come
to
up with a solution which doesn't exist, right?
Yeah. That I very much agree.
Right, this is what like Luffy does with Affinity. He's like, I'm not beating dust to dust, so he doesn't care.
And he's not the only one.
He plays Blue Blast, Red Blast, couple of edicts. That's it.
Good point. This is definitely I very much agree on, and this is very much good point if you want to play at high level Magic, like playing into your outs, and it's a game of randomness to some extent. So you have to be the best. Like you have to be the luckiest among the best, right?
Yeah.
So that's it.
Famous words.
Famous
player.
Last one. How much of your preparation is solo and how much is a team or a group? This is a short one. So like just to give us an idea, like when you prepared, how much was like solo study and how much was like playtest?
Yeah, so solo I do the study thing, but I don't play MTGO at all. So most of my experience comes for playing with my testing group.
Yeah. And that highlights how much of importance is like having a team.
Yeah.
Right. Is good players exist, but good teams is like much of a deeper concept, right? So playtesting with people makes definitely play better. I very much agree on this as well. Yeah. Anything to add to this? Or?
Yeah. So in Prague we have a really strong group, like of all the people that came to Prague, from Prague to Italy. We have a couple of top 8ers, a lot of day tours. It's only like thanks to them being so good, I can be so good too, right? Just because I can play with really good people every week. It's really important. Like if you want to grow as a player, you need to play with it. So like you always need to play with people who are better than you, which sucks basically because you keep losing all the time. But only by that you can train your Magic skills and your like calmness.
Yeah, it's a team sport. Like it's a hidden team sport, Magic, I think. Like talking and sharing ideas, sharing approaches and play style. This is important.
It's like Formula racing, right? So I was playing the game and the guys were bringing me water. So
that's different pit stop. Beyond the trophy, what's something that people don't see like behind the tournament win, like the one you had? Like now you're the winner, you're the champion, you have the crown. Is there something like that people don't see, positive or negative, like something hidden?
So it's been hours, thousands of hours of Magic the Gathering behind it in years, and I've been learning the game for a really long time. Sometimes, like for example, my mother, like someone out of Magic, who does it feels like random cards, So for the people out of Magic, this seems completely random. Right, so they don't see how much time I've invested into the game, and that I like see a land being played, and I know the deck list immediately. Right, understand what's going to happen in the next couple of turns. I know like if the Affinity on turn 3 plays an Enforcer, I need to react like this, and if they doesn't, so there's a lot of hidden knowledge you don't even realize you have, because you learn it by experience slowly through the years.
And as you said, some plays sometimes are given by vibe. So that is like this kind of like intuition, magical intuition. That's something people don't see. Yeah. So you consider yourself a grinder even if you don't play online. Like you play a lot of Magic, like behind the curtains.
Because that's how you get it deep into yourself, right? Like you need to go through the situation to understand the situation. if like, yeah, I see a situation, and some decks are harder than the other. Like usually, on average, I say like the blue decks are much harder than the rest of the game. It doesn't have to be a rule, but yeah, it's like you see a situation, and there's like a couple of different ways go through, a couple of different directions. I need to make a decision. Like I'm gonna do this time. So you need to get to that situation a couple of times and try all the roads and where they lead, and you'll see like, so this gives me a win like one time in 5, and this like wins 3 times of 5. This one doesn't work never, and this one might is like a conflict, right?
Do you keep notes like of your games?
I do keep small notes from tournaments.
So not only like to write reports or something like this, but in terms of like personal growth. Like, do you note down, for instance, okay, I made this play turn 2 and I did it 5 times, and 4 out of 5 I lost the game. Is it like, I don't know?
No, I'm actually, I don't need to keep that.
You remember?
I do remember.
You tend to remember, okay. Yeah. That is a nice memory skill to have. Broad question.
And that's a great question, actually. That's a great question in conjunction with the previous one.
Right.
Because I just told you that I don't keep the notes. And it's because at the start of the interview, I told you that I have this tendency to take the losses personally. Right? So even now, the losses, they hurt sometimes so much that I don't need to keep track, because I do remember the games. And it's actually all the losses in my life have been really important for my growth as a Magic player and as a person. Actually, because as I said before, like there's more to win a tournament than just play good Magic, right? It's like self-control, like focus, like keeping focused on the game, not getting distracted, like calming yourself down or hyping yourself up when you're down, like keeping track of your body, like do you need to pee, really, like how good is your decision making if you need to pee urgently, really. Is there a loss that's been more important to you, your growth, than this victory?
So short answer, all of them.
All of them, because I have not seen the result of my growth from this victory yet. I've only so far seen the result of the losses.
Well, but that's a milestone, right? In your Magic the Gathering career.
It is real. It's real.
And this brings us to how like winning Paupergeddon has changed the way you see yourself as a player. Because like you win Paupergeddon, as I said, you don't wake up in the morning and you say, okay, today I go to win Paupergeddon. Of course, that's the goal, but you don't really realize it till you win. It's like, does this have consequences?
Well, it gave me a lot of confidence, right? Like, I see that the choices I make in the game can lead me to the top. Okay? It's like, before I said, I've seen my friends get into top 8, and I was like, I can probably do that as well in the future. Maybe if I get better matchups. And obviously that's a part of winning an event like this. Like you need to hit good matchups. It's super important. And Pauper, probably all the other formats as well. But you also need to play well. So they gave me this, this confidence that, yeah.
Good.
So I no longer, have to. Yeah.
Philosophical needs to like
What's your
tune down. Yeah.
Hey, I'm not like I have some opinion about bans and unbans.
Let me read it loud voice. So if someone is just listening to that, like What is the most controversial Pauper opinion you might have?
I'd say a couple.
Mm-hmm.
The first one would be I'd love more downshifts.
Oh,
And I'd love some people will hate this one, but I'd love some cards designed specifically for Pauper.
Pauper Masters.
No, not really like that. Not a full set.
Okay.
But let's say right now the white decks are underpowered, right? And it's been like I know that a mono white deck just was second to Paupergeddon,
Right.
undefeated day one, almost like undefeated day two, almost to the finals. But I feel like the white color is like underpowered compared to the
Really?
rest of the format.
Yet Familiar is like the best blue deck in the format according to Paupergeddon data.
Familiar.
Yeah.
Well, the people who play Familiar are usually like next level compared to other people.
That
right?
is also true.
So, like, how much you're a mathematician, right? So, how much data would you really need so you could comfortably say is the true?
It's very hard. It's very hard to say. Yeah, it's very hard to say.
Like, if you have 50 terror players, and if you have 7 familiar players, like, how do you decide? Like, what's the best blue deck? I think it's the mono blue terror because it's super consistent and it's like amazing, straightforward plan.
I agree with you. But
Right.
Paupergeddon, if I remember correctly, it's Familiar is the deck that performed well, being like blue based.
Yeah.
At this edition. So this might be meta related. This might be.
It's very often the familiars are one of the strongest day 1 to day 2 conversion rates.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's really because the players of familiars
Very good.
are very good. And like I play okay familiars, I would never bring it to a tournament like this because I know I would probably only play best of 1 every round.
But that's a good point, actually. Yeah, Familiar is one of those decks that like it falls apart if you are not like good plus, right?
Yeah, and you need to have a lot of experience and the fan base of familiars. Like I know a familiar player, he's not willing to play anything else. You know, he's like so dedicated. He's trying to make it work. It's a religion.
It's a religion.
So yeah, I think like making some cards specifically to solve like some of the issues of Pauper might be beneficial for the format.
What is a downshift at the top of your head you would like to see tomorrow?
Like, look, as an old modern player, I would like to see some of the old modern cards being playable somewhere again. I'm saying like Inquisition of Kozilek.
Oh wow!
My favorite would be Path to Exile, obviously, and I've been talking about that a lot in the past.
But that would be kind of okay, right? Even
I think Path would be. I'm not sure if you could afford to play 4 of them.
Yeah.
Right, because it's a good removal at the same time with a huge cost. So I was thinking maybe I think we could get something less situational. Like probably the problem with Path is it would probably improve FAMs too much, as you could just pop your own creatures, so you ramp yourself. Now
maybe
that's not how we want to make it. So I was thinking like a sword to plowshare effect, but let's make it 2 mana, so it's not broken.
Or on opponent's creatures only.
Oh yes,
something like
on opponent's creatures. So white in all the other formats, like white has the premium removal, and then Pauper you have like Journey to Nowhere, not making it right. So I think like design a good white instant speed, please. Unconditional removal for white, right? Give blue a solid anthem effect so the fairies are playable, right? So there's like many layers. It requires like more thought than just slamming. Like obviously, like you say, like force of will. Like no, it's not a good idea, right? But it requires some brain capacity to do it correctly. but it would be beneficial.
That is a good point. Pauper today, is there an archetype you think the community completely misunderstands? Like as a concept?
No. I would say the community understands pretty well what's going on. Like, it's Pauper is driven by really smart people. It's really hard to misunderstand something. You know, like we already know that Mono Red Madness is not an aggro deck, but it's like a combo deck, right? In some games, and in other games, it's like a grindy snacker machine, right? So the newer people might misunderstand it as like a burn deck, and I've seen a guy, you know, play Mountain and shoot me with Lava Dart in the face. I was like, no way, man. Not how you play this game. But like, the more you play it, you understand, like, you have many angles to that deck. That's why it's so good, right?
I see.
So I don't see like anything special.
I was actually hoping that you answered something like Jund with my list is not mid-range anymore, but it's like late game deck.
Yeah.
Right?
Right. So very often, like what works in the other formats, it's kind of twisted in Pauper, right? So what are familiars? Basically, they're somebody would say a combo deck, right? Because you have infinite life combo.
Is it?
But no, it's a control deck,
it's
right?
Good interaction, combo control, whatever, yes.
Yeah, it's a control deck where you control the game by actually rendering what opponent does. You make it useless, right? Like they cast creature, you're trying to snap them off. Or with Turbo Fog is basically a control deck, kind of prison deck. But so very often the Jaunt, it's called Jaunt Wildfire, it's called Jaunt Midrange, but it's a control deck actually, because you take the control stance in most matchups. And with Jeskai, Ephemerate, for example, people called it Jeskai midrange back in the days, but it's obviously a control deck, right?
Yeah, maybe nowadays, but it's also hard to like put labels on Pauper decks, right? Because like the card quality is so different. Like we have no unconditional mass removals, right? It's very hard to put labels on Pauper decks, and sometimes it's just a pile of good cards that share this like keyword. Or like, let's take, I don't know, Affinity. I've heard people saying Affinity is aggro, Affinity is midrange, Affinity is control. Like, to my eyes, everything is just a matter of understanding the stuns you have to like take in that specific match or that specific matchup.
Yeah.
Right, and this might as well see the light in your approach to Jund. Because like your approach to Jund, if I got it correctly, was like more on the defensive side.
Yeah, I call it a defensive midrange.
The defensive
midrange.
Well,
Affinity is aggressive midrange, yeah.
That's a cool definition. And the point is that you want to like follow your play style by putting like the timer a bit like later when you start participating actively to the game, like resist a bit more. So actually you see how like changing, I don't know, how many cards have you changed from the like, let's say original or like the common deck is like 3, 4?
6 actually.
6.
I think it's 6.
So like here and there, and that completely moved the idea of a deck itself. And that's super interesting. And
so it's really hard to call Jaunt a control deck because you have very little control pieces.
Right.
I have like 4 cast down, the Shaman, the Toxin. It is a control package. It's a defensive package, not a control package, right?
Right.
So it's definitely a defensive mid-range. But I'm actually thinking right now, very often there's a misconception of Izzet that are because people think it's like a tempo deck or mid-range deck, but it's actually a control deck.
It's
right?
actually a hidden
very slow, and the terror is in the other like color combinations. It's meant to be attacking fast, but in this particular decks, you cast it very late actually to finish the game. Very often you just have 1 on an empty board. So
and it's not easy to see. It's not easy to see because again, Pauper has this like weird, combination of cards that play together somehow well. But they don't define pure archetypes.
Yes,
right?
yes. The same as like fairies mono blue is aggro deck, right? But the dimmer combination is a control deck. But you control by the creatures, right? So it's like more mid-rangey control thing. So again, it's like a weird mixture of archetypes.
Yeah, aggro, then it becomes tempo, because otherwise if fairy doesn't play as a tempo, it dies.
Very often, but if you just like, if you're not on the play, you need to play control because you're on the back foot, because you can't just slam ninja most of the time and try to protect it. So
that's so nice and so characteristic about Pauper format, yeah. Do you like it like this, or is there anything you would change about the format, like except for downshifts, as we just said, in terms of more like, let's say, ban or approach? If Pauper format panel hires you and it's a monarchy, what would you do?
Right now, really, right now, the format is great. And it's great for competitive players, and it's great for the casuals as well. So for competitive players, there are defined archetypes. It's, I mean, you can play a lot of things, but you don't, like for the tournament, into tournaments, you quite know what to prepare for, right? So you can achieve like huge competitiveness. And obviously for the casuals, there's like a lot of tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 decks.
Right.
You can play to have fun. You can try different strategies. You can play white. Every color right now has a solid deck. So I think it's really good right now.
So and it's no changes.
I don't think we need to change anything. And I think it's always a little bit better for the casuals to hop into the game if the blue is underrepresented. Because like when you are a new player, the blue just feels so unfair, right?
Weird.
Like first they always have the cards they need because they have the selection, then they do like you have this Chrysalis and they go like counter spend, like dude, like so unfair. Like of course, like when you the more time you spend with the game, you realize like it's not that bad. But the first impression of the blue color is always so unfair.
Very shortly, but I have to ask you. It's controversial, but I would like your opinion. Snacker ban, yes or no?
No.
People are ready. People got prepared, right?
Look, I just like the unique things.
You like the unique ability.
And okay, maybe we could be changing this in the future. Let's have this direction. Like, let's do more unique things. Like, if you look at pre-modern, for example,
that's true.
Like the archetypes, they do different stuff. Right? Or in modern, like, but here, like, all of us, like, yeah, I know, like, you draw cards and then you slam a snake, or you know, and you like, so the jump gameplay is like, kill stuff, slam a Chrysalis, slam a Hydra, win. And the blue thing is, counter stuff, gotta play snakes, win, you know, and it's always the same, like, you play a huge creature and you win, and with Affinity, you go like, bolt on the top. So, like, we don't have these unique things for the archetypes.
That is true.
Right? So that might be a thing for the future of Pauper. Like, try to do more unique things. And I really like Snacker. I loved it from the first time I've seen it in the spoilers. And I even played it in my Affinity list.
Free folders, right?
Yeah, free folders from Dispute. And remember, there was no Utroms or like black rods back then, so it had nice synergy. So I think like we need more unique stuff. So there's like more depth actually included.
Interesting, and I think this was needed to be asked because like, your opinion on this topic might be interesting, given that you are not a Snacker player, or at least the recent result was not with a Snacker deck. Yet, you would like it to stay in the format in terms of variability, in terms of like how new players approach it, and in terms of how new effect would actually create archetypes. Yeah, that's very nice to hear. Is there anything underrated in Pauper, like a specific card? Maybe not a super interesting question, but I think a fun one.
A fun one?
Yes.
Yeah, it's Rancor. Rancor. Okay, I love my Rancor. I think people have not yet discovered the power of the No, Rancor is obviously good. Of the colorful auras you can play in the Gates decks.
Oh,
Right, so it's
I
like
see.
the Armadillo Cloak, for example.
Right.
And you can slam it on the Guardian. People, it has been showing up some presents online.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just because it's like a niche thing. We don't really understand it, like how good it is or not. I think it's a little underrated.
Well, there are not many Rancor decks, right?
Yeah, well, Rancor. There's one Rancor deck.
One Rancor deck. I remember when like Pauper was in another state, there was like monogreen Stompy.
Ah, monogreen.
Right. 2/2s with Rancor and with the Hunger of the Old Pack. Would be cool to have like a monogreen Stompy nowadays, but I don't know if power level is high enough.
Like we have a really good monogreen deck.
We
right
have
now.
a really good monogreen deck, yeah.
So not the problem with Stompy is it's like always going to be on the back foot compared to what the red decks are trying to accomplish.
But that would be aggro because like elves, and they think we're referring to elves, is more like on the combo side.
Yeah, well, yeah. This.
Right, you need good interactions.
Especially game one.
Especially game one. Okay, good.
I'm trying to think like the most underrated cards.
Well, Pauper metagame is very open, so most of the good cards are actually being explored, like actively, right?
Yeah.
There is no very clear rock, paper, scissors at the top. There are like, I don't know, 7, 8 tier 1 decks that actually can play against each other-ish.
Yeah.
Something like that. Okay. What is one good piece of advice like you wish someone had given you before you started playing competitively? Like something you had to learn yourself and you would have appreciated, like received from someone.
So I am not sure. I'm not sure I could. Look, so to play good competitive Magic, you need the experience, and I'm repeating myself here. It's not just the experience of the game, but it's also experience of the stress. Okay, and the advice would be aimed like this direction, like go there, play the games, be stressed, be nervous, fight for the win, be sad when you lose. Don't stop trying. The more games you're gonna play, the less nervous you're gonna be. Like the more games you're gonna play, the more calm you're gonna be. Like the more times you see the same situation, the more times you're gonna find out the escape route, for example, out of it. All right, so there's only one way forward to become a better player, and that's like playing the game. And if something happens and you just stop enjoying it, get a break. Like there's no shame in it. Just don't play it for a month. Wait for the moment like you start enjoying it again. Like don't push it.
So follow in some sense also your feelings towards the game, like respecting what you have and like approaching it to the long run and not necessarily the short one.
Yeah, like you're not, like this is not a competitive sport. Like you're not winning millions. You're still doing for yourself, to have fun.
Yeah, that is true.
Like you want to meet new people, and if you don't enjoy the activity you're doing in free time, like why would you do this?
It's the gathering, right?
Yeah,
it's the gathering.
Then you only are salty. Like nobody wants to talk with you because you're salty and grumpy. Right, so people avoid you. So there's no point in like doing something you don't want to do.
Yeah. We're towards the end. In one sentence, what is your advice for someone who's starting? What we just said, that like our local community, but not only, like Pauper is receiving new players daily, as it's easy, it's approachable. what would you tell like someone in these conditions to like approach their Pauper journey at their best?
Okay, one sentence. It's
Even
not much.
two, like it's just a broad question.
Let's keep it simple. Like set your goals would be the first. Like, are you doing this for fun, or do you want to compete? And the chance is you want to start with having fun, and then you want to compete. Right? So have a goal, and then of course, like if your goal is to compete, you need to find good players to play with. So find them and play with them. You just want to have fun, have fun. Don't care about the results.
That's another characteristic of the format, that you can be like a competitor or a casual and you're welcome regardless, right? Yeah.
Like, know who you are. Do what you like.
Given that you won Paupergeddon,
Yes.
for Pauper players, like Paupergeddon top 8 or Paupergeddon win is like the best you can do. I want to like extend it. What is there anything you would like to achieve? Not necessarily in Pauper or in Magic, but something you haven't reached yet and you would like to get.
So like a year ago, I would not believe that I can win it, right? When I started putting some good results in the last year, in my job, there's a guy who's trying really hard, or quite hard, to get into Pro Tour. There's also another guy who actually was playing last couple of Pro Tours. So I started thinking, like, would I do it too? Do I like go for this? Do I start playing like a hardcore to get to Pro Tour? And the truth is, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about it. Like I told you an hour ago that I was thinking this is gonna be my last tournament, like last big tournament outside of Prague, and that has changed for now. I'm not sure. I'm not sure now what my goal for the game is right now. That happened to me, for example, when I finished high school. I came home and everybody else was happy, and I was like, wow, like, what do I do now? They told me, like, now we go to the university. So I went there, and I was there, and I was like, yeah, is this it?
I see.
Right. So right now, I don't have an answer for you. I don't have a goal in the game right now because I don't think I am able to put in the work to be a Pro Tour level player. It would be like hundreds of hours of limited. I'm actually not good in.
Yeah, and transforming a passion in like something which is not only a passion, because like you cannot put all this time for just a passion, right?
I think like in time I could do that. And I know this answer would be so much different if I had only won the Geddon like 10 years earlier. If I'd be like 24 now, like I would start my Magic career right now. Like I'd have the YouTube channel. Like you'd be interviewing me on my channel. Like there would already be an article on my Patreon. There would already I would be everywhere. Like I would be playing the last 4 challenges.
It's not too late. It's not too late.
It's not too late. It's just, I've been 35 and I feel like my life should be going into a little different direction than playing a game of Magic for like 20 hours a week.
Well, that's getting philosophical, but I think there is still like time for
for sure.
For much. Yeah. Future. Years ahead, like in years from now, what do you hope people remember like about you and not about this tournament win?
So you mean from a Magic perspective or like a personality perspective?
You can answer both. I think people would find it interesting.
So from the Magic perspective, I'd love to be remembered as first thing, like in the first place, is a community creator, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I play some good Magic, but I'm not the best player I've ever met, you know. Like, I know a lot of better players than I am. So I don't have this ambition, like, to pretend I'm the best John guy in the world right now. But I would love to be remembered, like, as someone who started a community and worked for the community, and like by becoming first international champion, perhaps I've changed something in the community. You know, like the same way my friend Adam top 8'd it the Geddon a year and a half ago, and I've seen it. I was like, maybe I could do that too. Maybe this is the moment, like the other people will start coming more to Geddons, and we could really truly make this into like a real international event.
Oh, it is.
And maybe, it is now. Like, now it's official. Like,
it's official.
Like a Czech guy got a chance, you know. And maybe in the future, one of the Geddons will be outside of Italy, like once a year.
Oof.
You know, like, wow, that's the controversial idea, right?
That's the I mean, it's so hard to think.
I'm sorry. But no, sorry, friends.
No, it's
I don't want to steal it from you.
Okay, but the thing is that it's so hard to see. Oh, on the other hand, like maybe something could be like Pauper Genesis has started, like the first USA big tournament in Pauper, like was the first edition. So rather than Paupergeddon being somewhere else, I could imagine more like other big tournaments, like Central Europe.
Right? Oh, yeah.
Pauper, like Praguegeddon. I don't know. Like now I'm making it Praguegeddon.
That works a little.
But yeah, definitely Pauper as a format will keep expanding. So I still think that what you say is like concrete. It might happen. We will see in what form. Maybe we'll find, I don't know, better venues in like, I don't know, Central Europe, Spain, France, Germany for big events like Paupergeddon, because Italy as a country has a big community.
Well, like obviously it started with Italy because you have like Italy has like such great player base. Like, why would you do it elsewhere? Like, just right now I'm thinking like Poland could be viable.
Poland is very viable
because it's a lot of players and it's a big country and there's like airport everywhere. That is also quite true. Okay to get into.
But Pauper started online, so it's even an like international thing. But yeah, Pauper is being international, is becoming like a major thing, and it is a major thing. Just to remind people who just like joined the streaming, Jan here is and was a league organizer. So when he mentioned something about being a like community glue,
I said community creator, but I'm not sure it's what I'm not sure it's even a word in English actually.
Maybe, I don't know.
What does it mean? But what I mean is like like in an active way, I'm making the community, you know, I'm taking care of the community. So
makes much sense. Yeah.
So
I see. And this brings us to the ending. So thank you very much for sharing your story. Congratulations for the big result. I wish you many others Paupergeddon win. This is like a free moment for you. If there is anything you want to like tell people, like from YouTube, from Twitch, from wherever these words are being listened to, but this is like your moment to share like a thought or your future steps or something you might need.
Well, first of all, like thanks for having me here, for giving me this chance to be heard. You know, as a kid, I always dreamt of being someone who's worthy of being interviewed. You know, so you're actually like the last couple of weeks I've been fulfilling my dreams while
multiple times
winning the tournament meant like something big for me. I'm very grateful for that. And my like last thoughts, like what I wouldn't tell the community is I really love to be part of the community. And I love coming to Italy all the time. I've been 7 times to Geddon. You know, I wouldn't do that if I didn't like it there. I love being part of the community, and I'm really like trying to make it better here in Czech Republic. Well, by connecting the different cities and starting collaborations in between the cities. And I would really love, like to see the Pauper grow and become like a really huge, really tight net of people joined through the world in the future. So my message is like, yeah, like play Pauper, talk nicely about it, bring your friends, you know, be nice to each other, and so on.
Be kings in the Pauper format.
Yeah.
So this is a good ending. Thank you very much for your words. Thank you very much for like being here. Also, thanks to all the viewers, to all the listeners, because like this is more of a like podcast like type of content. And see you next time.